Hello, and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream. I'm streaming to you on many different platforms besides YouTube, which is my main platform, several pages on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm even trying to do this on TikTok. It's kind of doing it a backwards way, but we are live on TikTok too. So check it out. So, this is the Good Vibes Lifestyle, which is a weekly live stream that happens every Thursday at 3 o'clock live. I've been doing this for over a year. And, it's a little different than Good Vibes TV, which is a show that's on the YouTube website. And you go to YouTube, .com/@ Raise Your Vibe and Thrive. That's the channel name on YouTube. But you could just go to good-vibes.tv and it'll list a link tree and you can access this podcast, previous episodes, the Good Vibes TV episodes, and what's airing right now is an interview with Elasa Tiernan from the R3 Miracle Center in Palm Harbor, Florida. She demonstrated the plasma med bed, which is using photon light, and very exciting. We did interview her a couple of weeks ago, but I've kind of edited down those episodes, and there's going to be a part one and a part two. So, part one right now is available. Just go to good-vibes.tv. Now, check it out, the Good Vibes Lifestyle. So, what's a Good Vibes Lifestyle, and what is this all about? I'm really about starting a movement, and this movement is about living in the Good Vibes zone, which is based on David R. Hawkins' map of consciousness scale and Esther Hicks' scale of emotional guidance scale. And basically, it's a scale where the vibration of fear is at the bottom and love is at the top. And so there's this whole range. And right in the middle is kind of the crossover from the lower vibrations to the higher vibrations, or what I like to call the good vibes. Those good vibes are love, peace, joy, happiness, appreciation, gratitude, all the good vibes, right? Um, and the lower vibrations, I don't like to say bad vibes, but just lower vibrations are anger and fear, shame, guilt, hate, all of these vibrations. And this is how we know where we're vibrating, by our emotions, right? So our emotions determine where we're at on the scale. Just determine, this is how we know where we're vibrating. Are we vibrating at a higher vibration or lower vibration? It's based on our emotions. So, with that in mind, this show is all about tips to raise your vibration. So, when we are watching television or the news, or, a lot of things in society, it brings us down. There's a lot to complain about, but there's also a lot to be grateful for. So it's again that, half full, half empty. How do we see the glass, half full or half empty? How optimistic are you? And the reason this is so important, where we're vibing, is because where we're vibing determines what we're attracting in our life, because like attracts like. So if you're vibrating in fear, you're going to attract fearful or fear vibrating things to you, things to be fearful about. But if you are vibrating in love and peace or joy, then you're going to attract things that bring those things to you, that match those things. So, I've got people on TikTok that want to join live, but I'm not sure how to do that. So we're going to leave that for later. But anyway, let's get back to it. All right, so there's lower vibrations, there's higher vibrations, there's good vibes, and where we're vibrating at determines what kind of life we create for ourselves. So this is why, in my mind, it's so important to know where am I vibrating at, what's my vibration, and if it's not in the good vibe zone, what can I do to raise it to the good vibe zone, to get the next better feeling vibration into my life? And this is how we create a higher vibration life, a more successful life. So, in light of good vibes, I have found that there is a National Good Vibes Day, and that is on October 30th. And on that day, I'm doing something special. I'm having a summit where I'm going to have many different speakers all throughout the day, all about good vibes. So if you want to register for that, go to this tinyurl.com/2024 Good Vibes Day, and that's all lowercase. So that's coming on October 30th. So please put it on your calendars and sign up if you can, so you can get the notifications. All right. And on the show, I like to talk about the astrological news, what's happening with the planets, because, the cosmos does affect us. Everything is energy. This is one of the basic premises. Everything is energy. Our vibration, and how where we're vibrating has to do with our emotions. This is how we tell, and everything is energy. So we impact our world. As kind of I see it like an ocean of energy. Our thoughts are really things. The affirmations we say, the thoughts we think, the things we say, the things we think. All of these things affect, you know, our energy field, right? And so also planets, the moon, the earth, other people all put out vibrations as well. So it's good to know what these are so we can live in harmony with nature because we are nature's children, right? So I want to talk about the moon. Now we're in the waning phase of the moon, which is from the full moon, which happened on July 21st. From the full moon to the new moon is what's called the waning phase of the moon, which is when the moon is getting smaller, right? So it's getting smaller, smaller, smaller until you get to the new moon again, and the new moon is then a new beginning. So the full moon is the culmination, and this past full moon was called the full buck moon because this is when the deer in the northern hemisphere start growing their full antlers. It's also called the thunder moon, and it was in the sign of Capricorn. So that just happened on the 21st, and now we're kind of integrating all that knowledge and everything. And yeah, there were some big announcements made on the full moon with President Biden removing himself from the election, and the new vice president, Kamala Harris, being the wanting to take his place in running. But Marianne Williamson is also still, out there calling for an open convention so that there is more discussion and things because that's what democracy is all about is discussion of ideas so that we can find the best solution to the things we're trying to resolve. So we're in this waning moon phase, which is integration of all the culmination that happened on the full moon, and now we're integrating, we're harvesting, we're absorbing what we've learned, and whatever it is that we want to get rid of, we release closer to we can release now, but closer to the new moon is good as well. So the new moon that's coming up will be in the sign of Leo on August 4th at 7:13 a.m. So a lot of times people like to know when the beginnings or exact time of the full moon, so that they can do their start certain tasks, do certain rituals. When you do it in sync with the full moon or the new moon, you're working with the energy. You're not um, swimming upstream. You're kind of going with the flow, and things work out better. So this is the reason to know what astrology is happening. And anyway, so so that's what I've got for you as far as the moon. Now, what's also happening on August 4th is Mercury retrograde. And, we've talked about Mercury retrograde. If you're into astrology, you are familiar probably with Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury is the planet that rules communications and also short distance travel, things like that, computers, contracts. So when Mercury is retrograde, it appears from the Earth's perspective like it's moving backwards, but it's really not. It's just kind of like when you're in a train, two trains passing, and it looks like the train's going backwards when it's really going forwards, or you're in a car and it's drifting forward, but you think you're going backwards. It's that kind of thing. It's kind of an illusion, but it does have an impact on contracts, communication, and things like that. So what a lot of times happens during a Mercury retrograde, and it usually happens about 3 to 4 times a year, and it lasts about 3 weeks. So this one is going from the 4th to the 27th of August. The majority of August we're going to be in Mercury retrograde. So let me give you the advice as to the best way to use this energy. When Mercury goes retrograde, usually the weak links show up. You know, if a tire was going to blow, it blows. If there was a washing machine that was going to break, it breaks. So um, the weak links break. Things happen that need to be attended to. So when you're in the Mercury retrograde and something like that happens, know that that's just the natural cycle of life and fix it. Mercury, the best way to use the Mercury retrograde energy is to do anything with the word or with the two letters re before it. So, repair, regroup, refurnish, refinance, review, anything with where you're going back and you're re looking at something. Back burner projects. This is a perfect time to tie up those loose ends. Any back burner projects that have been sitting there, get those done. The energy of Mercury retrograde is a great time to do those kind of things. So that's the best way to use the Mercury retrograde. And just know that miscommunications are more likely. Um, Things like that. It's not a good time to sign contracts unless you want to have to redo it. Um, but they find that when you do sign contracts during Mercury retrograde, something's wrong and you end up having to redo it anyway. So you're better off to avoid it if you can. If you can, things, you can't always change when you're going to sign a contract or close on a house or buy a thing or whatever. But it's best not to do the new things during the Mercury retrograde. It's best to finish up the old projects, and then once Mercury goes direct again, then you can move forward with your projects. Now, the other thing with Mercury retrograde, we start feeling it about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks prior to, and 10 days to 2 weeks after it goes direct. This is what's called the Mercury retrograde shadow. It's a shadow period where we start to feel those impacts. And gosh, a couple of things already happened to me today that were kind of quirky, like miscommunication kind of things. But now I can't remember them. So my point is, don't freak out about the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. And because it's not worth getting all upset about, right? Unless you're really needing to release some of that energy. But if you can, again, this is all about like a mental and emotional discipline, good vibes, right? First, being aware, what vibrations am I feeling? What emotions am I feeling? And then, secondly, okay, choice. I have a choice. I don't have to, express or express that feeling in a negative way. I can choose to think differently about it. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Right. So, so, and when things are small and you don't get all upset about it, you don't remember them anymore. You've let those things go, and that's why I can't even remember what the. There were two like weird issues. I'm like, oh, Mercury retrograde's coming. It's a shadow, but I can't remember what those are because I let that stuff go. And that's, I think, a good advice to give you. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. All right, so we go from the cosmos to UFOs and UAPs. Um, Dr. Stephen Greer has been studying UFO for many years and trying to get disclosure because our government has the alien ships, has had bodies that they've been hiding this for many, many years. And there's also alien technology that these contractors, the government, have been either hiding from society or, they don't want to mess up the status quo with our oil, petroleum industry that we have. Because there is such a thing called free energy that takes the energy from the quantum field, and we have free energy. So, um, you know, this is something that Dr. Greer has been working very hard. He also talks about communicating with the extraterrestrials that exist. And so this is a whole thing. So if you've been following me, you're familiar with this. If not, then this is new information for you. But I do want to remind you and let you know that this weekend, Dr. Greer in Temecula, California, is having a CE5 Contact and Consciousness Conference. And it starts the 26th, which is what, I guess that's tomorrow, through Sunday. It's a 3-day webinar or event, excuse me. And all of the seats are sold out. But you can, for $99, get the online stream for the whole weekend, including the 2 nights where he's actually going to Um, they're going to do the CE5 app. It's actually an app where they call the ETs and call them in and ask to communicate with them. And he's had success. He's gotten information, and so he's doing two sessions like that in addition to the daytime sessions, which is all about um, his UFO archive that his disclosure archive that he has available. So just go to his website, drstephengreer.com. You can sign up for this weekend's workshop or webinar, and also learn more about him if you are not familiar with him. But I really love Dr. Stephen Greer, man with a great heart, and just really doing the right thing. And he has been his life has been in danger all throughout this time. He actually had an accident last October on his bicycle, which he says that it was tampered with. So, he's really putting his life on the line to get this information out. So, he's authentic man, and if you have an interest in learning more about UFOs and UAP and disclosure, check him out. He is the source I like to, you know, um, go to. He's my source. All right. So let's now talk about the Oracle of the Month. So the Oracle of the Month that I have been working with this month, and every month I feature a different oracle. Well, this one is Guides of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, and she is a favorite of ours. She does an Oracle Palooza event online, and I would highly recommend that. That sometimes happens in August or September, so I'm not sure when she's doing it next, but she is one of our favorites. So let's ask Spirit for a message for us collectively. And let's see, let me pull my cards out. And she has a nice prayer in her book here that I like to say. So she says, it says, "Thank you, Spirit, for all you have given me and for the guidance I'm about to receive for my life. Let your light shine into my life. Show me your truth and nothing but blessed be, and so it is." So that's a good prayer, a nice prayer to say. Again, when we ask Spirit with authentic, um, with authenticity, when we ask Spirit for an answer, uh, we get it, and we have to trust that we're getting the answer from Spirit that's best for us, because Spirit only has our best interest in mind. So, what do we need to know today? And the card I am picking is "The river dances to the sea." Now, let me get my special camera on here so you can see this card. Beautiful green card. "The river dances to the sea." It's card number 3. Flow state, trusting in the adventure. Trusting in the adventure. So, in her booklet, let's see what that card is all about. Key concepts: flow state, movement, forward, forward move, excuse me. Flow state, movement forward, a quickening of events, trusting in the adventure. Movement and the continuous evolution of life is a given. Nothing can stay blocked or frozen forever. Eventually, the river begins to flow in the direction of its destiny, always to the sea, that vast container teeming with potentiality. Source is always calling you home to your ultimate manifestation and destiny. Now is the time when things begin to move again in your life. Events and opportunities will arise to invite you to experience life in a new way, calling you to an adventure you must not resist. This is a time of flow, not control. Allow relationships to take their course. Trust in the natural abundance that comes your way. New experiences will bring you into a greater sense of meaning, inspiration, wholeness, and purpose. Go where Spirit takes you, even when the river turns in a different way than you expected. These waters will carry you onward to the ultimate fulfillment of your deepest desires. And I'll even though I didn't pull it in reverse, I'm going to read the reverse message in case there was something there for you. The gentle flow of the river can turn into rapids, suddenly thrusting you into dangerous waters. It's a rude awakening from the illusion that you are in control. Allow yourself to trust the river. Spirits have come to keep your boat afloat and feel the exhilaration of this time of rapid transformation. The river will soon become peaceful again, and as things quiet down, you just might miss all the excitement. Trust and trust again. You were born for this experience. You will not drown. In fact, you'll wake up and discover a new awareness and appreciation for your journey. So that's the message if we got it in reverse. But yeah, the river dances to the sea. And, being in the flow of nature. Like I said, we're in this ocean of energy and being in the flow with nature instead of trying to fight that going upriver. This is the better way to live. This is living the good vibes lifestyle. So I hope you like that. And if you like this card, um, excuse me, this card deck, shop my Amazon store. And the way to get to that is just good-vibes.tv, and you'll see shop my Amazon store. I have this deck on there that you can purchase, and I love Colette Baron Reed and her decks, and this deck is really really cool. So check it out if you like this oracle. And next month we've got a new oracle coming, but you'll have to watch next week to find out what that one is. All right, so let's now talk about the Food Revolution Network and my partnership with them. They have a free film screening that they're talking about called Eating for Tomorrow. And I have 10 minutes left. I'm watching the whole film. It's very good, very insightful. And in the meantime, I've got a little screening here. So let me share with you this movie called Eating for Tomorrow. And I'll tell you how you can access this in just as soon as we're done with this little trailer. So check it out.
Our Earth, ever in flow and motion, a dynamic symphony of forces, all working together. But in recent years, it's beginning to become clear that our world is poorly prepared to cope. And time is running out.
Every continent is burning. People are losing their homes, ecosystems are being destroyed. We're now over the line.
Over 26,000 species are currently threatened with extinction.
It doesn't even make the headlines. No one even knows about it.
There seem to be some serious conflicts of interest going on.
The industry is just concerned with growth.
This was the elephant in the room no one wanted to talk about.
I want others to see for themselves. This is all we've got. This little blue miracle.
This planet is our home, and it is up to us what happens now. History has shown that when we stand together, we can achieve great things. The clock is ticking.
So this is the movie called Eating for Tomorrow. So if you want to be part of the solution, watch this film. And the way you can access it, and it's available for 4 days, tinyurl.com/capital GVTV eating for the letter 4 tomorrow. Again, tinyurl.com/capital G, capital V, capital T, capital V, then in lowercase, eating the number 4, and then tomorrow. And then you can check it out. This is a great film. It's not like all everything's happy and joyful. I mean, it's really talking about the problems that we have with what do they call it? Agriculture or animal agriculture, or where a lot of the agriculture, all the corn, the soybeans, and all this is for the animals to eat. So then we eat the animals, and it's just not the healthiest way for us physically, but it's also affecting the planet because the the desire for meat and eating meat just keeps growing and growing and growing. So they have the great information. But what's also really cool about this is that not only when you go to that website, and let me see, how can I share this with you? Present. There we go. Share screen. Okay. So I want to share. Where is it? Eating for tomorrow. Okay. So when you get this, when you sign up for this, let's put it this way. There we go. When you sign up for to watch this trailer, you have 4 days to do it, but you can also get this 145-page PDF that has all of these different recipes that are all plant-based, and the recipes are kind of higher end. They're more like, they're not simple, so simple to make. They're done by these chefs, created by these chefs, and they've got American, European, Middle Eastern, Indian, and Asian recipes in here. And they talk a little bit about the blue zones, and things about the movie and about eating plant-based. But look at these recipes: roasted cherry toms with polenta focaccia. um, I mean, I was amazed at how many of these. So these are the American recipes. Um, Wild berry apple crumb tart, yummy, yummy stuff. Very, very nice. And then there's European, and like I said, all the different recipes from different countries. So just getting that is worthwhile. So I just wanted to share that with you and encourage you to to sign up. Here, let me give you the URL again, and it'll be in the description of the YouTube channel as well. So that's what's happening with that particular film. So, very good film, very motivational, and I would recommend you watching. All right, so one last thing I want to share with you today before we get to our tip of the week is this masterclass is still available. This is 3 strategies to preserving and storing your harvest. That's done by Stacy Murphy with the Grow Your Own Vegetables class. And that has a link as well. So here we go. The link is at tinyurl.com/capital GVTV and then preserve harvest in lowercase. So she talks about 3 strategies to simplify preserving and storing the harvest, because she's all about growing vegetables. Enjoy fresh organic vegetables and herbs all year long. She talks about 6 simple ways to stock your pantry full of goodies, fresh goodies, a counterintuitive strategy for saving over 40% on your grocery bill every year, how to think like a flavor ninja and create delicious meals from basic garden ingredients. And she also talks about one trick. She has one trick to preserve the essentials in just a couple of hours. So this is a great masterclass, free masterclass. And at the end, she gives you the option to go further into her course if you want to do that. And just full disclosure, since I am partners with her and also the Food Revolution Network, I get a little commission if you purchase something. And so that's a great way to support the channel if you so desire, if this is something that enjoy and love. So there you have it. And gosh, I forgot to mention in the beginning that I am doing StreamYard. So that means you can comment wherever you're watching from, and I can see those and I can respond, put them on the screen. So if you have any questions so far, please put them in the comments before we close here. All right. So let's talk about the tip of the week. Last week's tip of the week. God, I'm having a hard time speaking today, and I think it's that Mercury retrograde. Last week's tip was to play the What I Love About You game, or What I Like About You game. And I'll quickly review this if you're, and you can do this on the road. And this is how I played the game with my husband on the road, since we're kind of in that summer travel time where we're driving everywhere and taking road trips. So, but in a home environment, what you do is give each person a stack of paper. You can play it with one person or several, like a whole family. And on that paper, everyone puts one person's name on there, and then everyone writes what they like or love about this person, a quality or something that they really admire or love about that person. Then they fold that in half, put it in a hat. So then they go to the next person. Everyone does the same thing with the next person's name, fold it, put it in the hat. Then pass the hat around, pull the sheet of paper out and read that about the person. So that is called the What I Love About You game. Now, the way to do it when you're traveling, like I've done with my husband, is ask the question to each other and they answer. So what do I love about you, husband? And I would say, and then he would say something about me. And it's hard because after you get through the basic stuff, it gets harder and harder to find something that you love or like about that person. But that's the challenge, and in the end you feel really grateful for all the good things, and the other people feel good about what is appreciated in them. So it's a really um, fun way to raise your vibration. So I would love to. So I just wanted to share with that. That's last week's tip. Now this week's tip, because I just talked about this Eating for Tomorrow film, my tip is to watch this film because it'll empower you. Um, Even though it's kind of disturbing information in the beginning about the climate and how all of this working, but it's very clear. And it's good to know what's really happening in our world instead of being conned by the powers that be, right? Find the information. So watch this movie. And again, when you sign up for it, get that free 145-page PDF that has tons of plant based recipes in there. Try something new. So that's the tip for the week. So, again, thank you for watching today. I want you to remember to live the good vibes lifestyle. So, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Take care of everyone. Peace out.